So Paco Fink has said ace jack. I would love to explain. Mike is an aggro fish. Ace jack. Let's see if we can find it. I don't think it's this hand that just happened because it doesn't look like it was that exciting. Ace jack. Ace jack. Let's see. Ace jack. Oh, he had aces. Did you guys see that? Why didn't I fold on the flop? What was my hand? I had a ace jack. He's betting this with any two cards. You guys want a quick Flopzilla lesson? Let me show you this. This will be helpful to some of you. I have a Flopzilla tutorial in my shop too. If you want to check that out, pokerinabox.com/shop. You can find some Flopzilla action in there. So you don't want to be folding this. I mean, assuming you're like 3-betting ace king. Let me show you this. What did he bet? What was his flop bet? We'll start with that. He bet... What did he bet? 3. He bet half pot. Okay, when someone bets, it's slightly less than half pot. When he bets half pot, if we fold more than 33% of the time, he can bet any two cards, right? He's risking 1 to win 2. So 1 over 3, that's 33%. If we fold more than 33%, then he can bet with any two cards, right? So you guys have seen this. King 7-7. I had ace jack with no jack of hearts, with jack of spades. Okay, we'll put in the board king jack. Great question. Great question. King. Already forgotten something like that. King 10. What the fuck was the flop? Ace jack. King 7-7. We had the jacks. King 7-7. And I'm putting over here in dead cards ace jack. Right. We have ace of something. And the jack of spades. See, backdoor flush draw. Yay! Sort of. And his range. Let's do it like this. When he c-bets, if our range is what? Something like, I'm in the blinds, right? My range is pretty wide. Like, I'm calling pretty wide, right? I'm a fish. I'm an aggressive fish, like you guys said. So I'm pretty wide. Something like this, maybe. Pretty wide. I don't know what his raise was pre-flop. 2.5. My range is even wider. Like, my range looks like this. He raised 2.5. Some of this suited stuff I'm 3-betting, but like I'm tempted to play this something like this, right? My range is wide. Big blind versus 2.5 big blind raise. My range is wide, and of course I'm 3-betting this stuff pretty much. Okay, now we don't want to fold more than 33% of the time. So I can start walking down all the things clicking all the things I either check raise or check call, right? All the things I don't fold, all the things I defend. So quads, full house, 3 of kind, overpair, top pair, pocket pair, below top pair, right? Of course I'm calling all that. Weak pair, well, you kind of got to do it. Like, arguably, ace, queen, ace, jack is better than these because if he fires again, all these have to fold. But if he fires again and I have ace, queen in the turns, or ace, jack in the turns of 10, or queen, I can maybe call or check raise because I have 7s in my range, right? So I call with these because we're only at 40%, and I need to get this up to 67% of hands that I continue with. 100% minus the 33%. And so I need more hands. I'm at 40%. I got to be defending way wider than this, right? So I call with this. All right, we're up to 53. What next? What else? What do you add after this? Backdoor flush draws? You can add a lot of backdoor flush draws, right? So all these backdoor flush draws? What are we at now? 57. We need to be at 67%. He bet half pot, right? So this is what I say. If you find yourself on a really dry board, like a paired board, and you need to defend, you're looking for more hands to defend, you've added all of your pairs, you've added some good backdoor flush draws, and truly, these are going to be nice hands too. Like all these gut shot backdoor flush draws, or these Broadway backdoor flush draws or calls. We're still at 61%. What do you add next? Your best no pair hand. What are your best no pair hands? Ace queen, ace jack, and ideally you're adding ace queens and ace jacks with an ace or queen of spades. So if I'm going to pick my ace queens and ace jacks, it's going to be those that have an ace or queen of spades, an ace or jack of spades, and we have the jack of spades. So we get there. Now we're over 72%. So I might fold ace jack if I don't have an ace or jack of spades. And ace queen, I'm still probably calling all of my ace queens. So this is why I call with all these hands, right? Because if you fold, you're folding too much. And it's, when I coach people, it's a very common leak I see all the time, that players fold too much on dry boards. This is why I, in turn, fire so much on dry boards, because players don't defend wide enough. Now, there's one more piece to this, that you don't, using the 33%, 67% figures, is a theoretical line, and it doesn't factor in other things, one of which would be how well the board hits your range versus his range. This board hits my range just fine. I've got a lot of kings in my range. I've got a lot of sevens in my range. My range is strong on this board from the blinds. I've got some powerful hands in my range. So I have the right, you could say, to defend a little wider. I'm out of position. That's a reason not to defend quite as wide. And then, of course, any reads I have on my opponent, like whether he is hyper aggressive, passive, station, all that sort of stuff. So all this goes into the hand, but this is why I check called ace jack off. There you go, Flopzilla lesson. Good question. Brownie points for asking a question like that. Or you could say because I'm an aggro fish. An aggro dish. Ooh. Wow, guru. Trying to butter me up. Yeah, if you want, that's the like super fast version of the Flopzilla lesson. Actually there's two ways you use Flopzilla. I mean, there's a lot of ways, but the two main ways you use Flopzilla are you put your range on the left and his range. Well, you put your range on the left if you're trying to figure out what to do with your strategy, which is what I was just demoing. The other way you use it is you put his range in, and this is probably more common for micro stakes, just simpler analysis. And this is what my Flopzilla video is about. And it is, if you're trying to figure out if you have enough fold equity when you c-bet, then Flopzilla is really good for that, right? Also, you can come to the same conclusions using the GTO tools, the GTO solvers. They will very clearly tell you, it's even better because that's factoring in EV, right? It's not just using my crude approximation of saying we don't want to fold such that his c-bet size means he can bet any two cards, and even then you have to defend even wider because his bluffs have equity, right? So it's you got to defend wider than just the zero threshold. But the GTO tools factor in EV as well, and you'll come to mostly the same conclusions, that you have to be defending pretty wide.